All right, we are live. Okay, that looks, and for those of you in our virtual audience, we are having to use my cell phone, so the picture is a little, it's distorted. I really don't look like this. But hopefully you can see and hear me, and I am waiting for someone to come on and say they can see and hear me, so we know that the connection and everything is working really well. I don't see anyone connected yet. We have a number of people in our studio audience who are attempting to connect. All right, someone is connected.
Yay.
Yay. Is that Gary?
That could be me.
Okay, could be John. So, we got two people connected. Again, they could be in our studio audience. 3. Oh, David. Okay, David, so you can hear and see me, right?
There you go.
Right? Yes? Okay, anyway, you win the prize. So let me know for what you would like me to do spiritual mind treatment for. That's great. And so we've got 4 people on. And Eileen, hello, good morning. And if you would like me to do a special prayer for you, just let me know, and I will do that for you too. Okay, so studio audience, someone tell me you can see and hear me. Oh, I hear okay, I got a thumbs up. All right, good. Okay. All right, make comments full screen. Do I want to do that? Yeah, maybe then that way we can see what you're saying. I don't know what that's going to do to everything. All right, make comments full screen. Okay, we're ready to go. All right, we've got feedback. And hello, Robert. Good, glad to see you. I'll probably be able to see on the cell phone more of who's actually checking in than you do on my laptop. My laptop is in need of some attention. All right, so it is December 19th. Oh, I am clear, I am focused, I am not discombobulated. All right, so let me begin with a special spiritual mind treatment. So this word is being spoken for each one. And if there is any other person or place that you would like to have included in this word, just think of their name now and know that this word includes them. Okay, no matter what anybody believes or thinks or is experiencing, the truth is there is this one absolute divine creator, this one spirit, one life, one God, creating everything that is because it enjoys creating, and it cannot help but create. And it can only create out of its own substance because there is nothing else to add to this one all-encompassing being. It is all, and so it uses its own substance to create all that is manifested. And that which is manifested is just an extension of that which is eternal, infinite, and omnipresent. And so that is true of each one. Each one is an extension of that which is eternal, infinite, and true. Each one is this divine self expressing itself in a unique way. And what makes being a human expression marvelous is that in this manifestation, as this manifestation, each one can be conscious that he or she is an extension of that eternal, infinite one. And so the truth is that divinity that is omnipresent is present right where each one is. It is present as the absolute, the omnipresence, and it also particularizes itself as a divine self as each one, a unique expression of that divine self, but yet still divine. And so from this, each one is extended. From this is the human personality and awareness. And from this is this realm of earth and everything in it created. And so each one is this day aware of this infinite, eternal presence that is the unique self, the spirit self, the true self of each one. And this self is untouched, unaffected by anything one has done, anything that one has experienced, anything that one has expressed. It is untouched by the physical form that is made for it to use as a vehicle for expression. But no matter what has happened or what that physical vehicle is doing or looks like, that eternal presence is unchanged. That eternal presence that existed before the body was created, that eternal presence that was able to observe that moment of the egg and the sperm coming together and a body being formed and generated, which this spiritual presence may use to express itself while here on this planet and nowhere else. This earthly body created out of the substance of life and the materials of that substance on earth is meant for here, while one is moving and dwelling and being on this planet. But the self that each one is beyond this planet and has just been given this beautiful spacesuit to use while here. And so it is this self, this divine self, that is recognized in this moment. This divine self that is capable of moving anywhere else on this universe or capable of moving beyond this universe to another plane of action. And it is this divine self that will always cloak itself in the appropriate spacesuit for that spirit, that essence within to express. This is recognized now by each one as each one. It is that self that was aware and alert before the body was formed, and it is the self that is aware and alert whenever one desires to connect with it. It is there always, knowing all, being part of that universal presence. It is infinitely intelligent. It is always able to guide each one to say and do and make choices and be with always the right people at the right time, expressing the right activities for the highest and the greatest good of all, because this divine self knows the highest and greatest good of each one. And because it is connected to that one self, it knows the highest and greatest good of all. And it knows how to communicate to the human personality self. It knows how to let each one know what to do, what to say, where to go, what to choose. And so all that human self-doubt, all that worry, all that trying to figure it out, all that unknowingly separation from this one divine self and trying to figure it out and make it happen and effort and push and force, it's all erased, vanished. It's eliminated in the realization it is superfluous, it is unnecessary. And the truth is, all that that human personality can do is as nothing compared to what that divine self knows. That divine self is creative, it is powerful, it is the life, the light, the love, the power, the peace, the beauty, the harmony, the joy. It is the infinite potential within. It is the lover, the forgiver, the witnesser of all that the earthly human is expressing on this planet. To this one self, unconditional love is present and is always continuously given to each one. And so this day, this night, this moment, this solstice Christmas, each one is more aware of that eternal light within, the light, that light within, the Christ consciousness, that divinity within, that one essential self, eternal, infinite all. And so with this connection, each one receives the fulfillment of that which is desired in the heart. Because no matter what one may believe that desire of the heart needs to be fulfilled, whether it be relationships or material things or money or physical body functioning in a particular way, the truth is, it is all the same desire to know that one is one with all life, included, belong, that each one has a place, that each one is loved, accepted just the way that they are. Each one desires to know that they are beautiful and joyous and that all is well, and that each one is paid attention to, not forgotten and not neglected, that each one is cared about by that loving infinite presence. And so this is the desire that is at the heart of all desires within each one, to know that there is something eternal, that there is a God, that there is an all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving, all-encompassing presence that is with each one, giving all of its blessings, all of its guidance, and creating for each one all of its good. Each one desires to know that each one is in God's heart and loved and special. And the truth is, each one is. And so with this satisfaction of that which is desired in the heart, each one is also observing everything in the human expression realm, corresponding to this inner fulfillment. Life works perfectly, human bodies function beautifully, relationships are harmonious and just filled with fun and joy. Each one is knowing inner peace and at peace present in everything in one's world, including all technology. And each one is abundantly supported in every way, with ideas, with resources, with wealth, with money, with prosperity, with blessings, with the gifts of spirit. And so in this moment now, each one is open and receptive to the gifts of God. And these are great and mighty. And so all is well. I am grateful that this is truth and nothing but the truth. And I release this word to that loving law, grateful it's done, and together we agree by saying, and so it is. And that's the way it is. Reverend Rich.
Open myself in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. Open myself in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening. I open myself in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I open myself in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening.
And so so we take this moment again to check in with our heart and make a decision about what we are going to open to this morning. And so just recognize whatever desire is there and let it be, and open to the light, the wisdom, the revelation, the truth, the guidance that you seek. And know that somehow, in some way, all that we desire is given.
Open myself in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I open myself in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Princeton. I'm Stephanie Lochinauer, and I am a practitioner here at the center. We are a loving, healing, and inclusive community which teaches and practices the principles of science of mind for the well-being of ourselves and the world, and also spiritual growth, well-being and spiritual growth. That part can be sometimes super fun and sometimes not. So, just speaking from personal experience today. So we have some really exciting things happening. Today is our very exciting giving tree, and we'll have a little feast afterwards. So if you are at home and you can make it here at 11:30, we would love to see you. And I see where all of us are in festive garb today, so I've got my lights on. And next Sunday is also exciting. This is like the favorite time of year for me. We do the coolest things here. We have the best traditions. And so next week is going to be our burning bowl ceremony. And so you can come with all of those things that you do not want to bring with you into 2022. Bring that list, and we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to start in 2022 fresh. And then January 2nd, 2022, we will be writing our letters to our future selves. So exciting. So getting ready for all that 2022 will bring us. And extra special, save the date. Take out your calendar right now. January 23rd, our very own Scott Allen is going to be giving us an amazing workshop after our service, and it is an in-person workshop exploring who you think you are and who you want to become in 2022. This is something you do not want to miss, so mark your calendar. And we are continuing with our amazing workshops by Susan Neat. So this Wednesday, we are going to practice being the light. So we'll continue our theme of light from today, and we're going to continue that on Wednesday at 7:30. All that information is on Facebook and on the website. And December 31st is going to be our meditation for bringing in peace. So the doors open at 6:30, I believe. 6:45 a.m. Just kidding, 6:45 a.m. on Zoom. So the virtual doors will be opening at 6:45 a.m. So getting up nice and early, practice that peaceful meditation, start the day off right, and bring that with you into 2022. And I think that's all the announcements for right now, unless someone else has something. We've got some really good stuff going on. All right, so as I was thinking and reflecting coming to service today, like I said, this is one of my favorite times of the year since I was little. And this service in particular, growing up, was one of my favorite services with the candlelight. And so I just remember being a little girl and sitting in church, and the lights would get really dark, and they would just dim everything, and it would just be that, like, almost a little bit scary, but that feeling of anticipation for when they would light that first candle. And every year, when that first candle was lit, I was always amazed by how just that one light would light up the whole room. It was no longer dark. Just that one light. And then it would get brighter and brighter and brighter. So all it takes is that one light, right? Darkness is just the absence of light. And so when we're experiencing those things that we don't want to experience, that we know isn't truth, where can we just find that one piece of truth? Where can we turn that on? And so I invite you today to think about that one light that you'd like to light today. What's that one piece of truth that's just going to light up that darkness for you.
I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are. We are light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. Today's all about light.
We have a new setup here today, so I'm juggling things, and yeah, you do look kind of strange in here.
Take that filter
I
off.
just thought I would share that with everybody. So my name is Susan Need, and I am a practitioner here at the center, and I'm excited to be here. Like Stephanie, this is just one of my favorite times of year. Never understanding it as a child completely, but getting caught up in the love of it, you know, just the love of giving. And speaking of light, during our Wednesday night evening inspiration last Wednesday, or the Wednesday before, we had some fun talking about what does it mean to be in the light or live in the light. And Karen cleared that up a little bit in her treatment, and Stephanie put some light on it as well. Oh, that was a pun. I didn't mean it, but it came out that way. You know, what one thing do you want to shed more light on? So I went into the science of mind. I wanted to see what Ernest Holmes had to say about the light. And he said, in moments of deepest realization, the inspired, the great mystics have sensed that one life flows through all, and that all are some part of that light. And a glimpse of this reality illumines the whole being with a flood of light. And I just love that idea of just being illumined. And when we are sitting in our oneness in that place, we can feel that lightness, we can feel a light, and we can be a light, live a light. So this time of year reminds us of that. So I'm going to guide us in a meditation that's going to be on that topic. And I'm going to finish with a reading of the words of Ernest Holmes and John Randolph Price. So I invite you now to get into that quiet space. Just feeling supported by your chair, feeling comfortable. And let's take a nice deep breath, a nice big releasing breath, and then just sigh it out. So whatever you brought with you here that might have been, rushing to get here or gathering things for this event, just let it go. And let's just do one more big one, because I need it. Here we go. Feel that clearing, feel that space. And now let your breath settle into its own divine rhythm. Just let it be, knowing that within and around you is the presence of God. Therefore, the presence of light. So I invite you to put your hand on your heart and just be with your heartbeat, knowing that this beat is the beat of spirit within you. It is the beat of the Christ consciousness. It is an illumined beat. And just be one with that notion of unity with your heartbeat and the beat of all mankind, because we are all, as Ernest Holmes and many other mystics before have said, we are all one. Where there is spirit, there is love. Where there is light, there is love. And in the book of John, chapter 2, verse 10, it says, "Whoever loves his brother lives in the light, and then there is nothing within him to make him stumble." Whoever loves his brother lives in the light, and there is nothing in him to make him stumble. Sit with those words for a few moments. And now just think or imagine or visualize a light in your heart. Feel the light, feel the warmth of the light, imagine the light. Feel that loving warmth of spirit, that Christ consciousness that is within and always within. And even when darkness appears, that light is always shining its light and its warmth. That light of love. Just feel that bath of love. And now take a moment, and wherever in your life right now you feel some darkness, breathe into the light. And let that light radiate on that darkness, lifting it away, brightening yourself and the room, sending that light outward to all mankind. Experiencing that unity in the light, the omnipresent light, the eternal light. The flame never dies. And as you hold that space of light, I'm going to speak words of Ernest Holmes and John Randolph Price in the first person, that you can embrace them and take them as your own. Light shines by means of me. I am light, and allow my light to shine forth in its full splendor. I am light. I eternally glow. I open my heart and breathe into my oneness with God and allow the presence of Spirit to shine through me. My path is illumined. And as I walk this path, my beloved journey, my light, the light of God expressing itself as me, around and through me, shines for all mankind. I am that I am. I am the light of the world. And as we sit in this illumined space, I speak these words for each one here, knowing this truth. There is one beautiful, glorious life. And that life is expressing itself in its divine, perfect way as each one here, as the world, as everyone, and beyond. And that life is perfect in every way. That life is whole. It is one with the whole. It is only whole because everyone is one with each other and one with spirit. It is whole. And it is complete because there is nothing that anyone needs right now to be better, because everyone is perfect right here and now. And each one is opening and accepting and knowing this truth, that the light is ever present, the light is always shining. And with that illumined path, each one travels in the joy of knowing that there is always success, always companionship, always love, always perfect health, always spirit expressing, so that all things move in divine right action and divine right order and in grace and ease. And this season of light is a special one. It is even more special than the years before, and it will be more special in years to come, because everyone is knowing the truth of the light, the Christ consciousness within, and their light shines. So with gratitude, I release these words, knowing they are true, because there is only one word, one divine mind. And we can all say together, and so it is.
Real close to the solstice, and this is the only time I get to play this song. I wrote it with my old singing partner, Beth Bachman, and we were thinking about winter when we wrote it, and we were thinking about the faith that ancient peoples had when they celebrated the solstice, and they had a feast. And knowing that winter was on them, they used up precious resources to have a giant feast. That's faith. So that's why we wrote the tune. The shortest day now, winter has come, nature is sleeping, and the working is done. The fire is warm now, the snow lies deep, this time is for renewal, so put your cares to sleep. Don't be afraid that the sun won't shine. The grace of spirit keeps our days divine. For with the guidance of the universe, night turns into day, and our fears about tomorrow God takes away. An affirmation of warmer days to come. We sing in celebration that God and we are one. Solstice signs for planting the light of Spirit's deeds. We're vision for the future. It's how we plant the seeds. Don't be afraid that the sun won't shine. The grace of Spirit keeps our days divine. For with the guidance of the universe, night turns into day, and our fears about tomorrow God takes away. Don't be afraid that the sun won't shine. The grace of Spirit keeps our days divine. For with the guidance of the universe, night turns into day, and our fears about tomorrow God takes away. And our fears about tomorrow God takes away.
Yeah, bravo.
All right, so here we are. Wow, we've got a mob. Why, you would think there's no such thing as a pandemic. Okay, which is good. I want to read a quote from Evan Hodkins. I'm not sure who he is, but he said, apparently, considering the perilous nature of the present moment, we reckon a Merry Christmas is nowhere in sight. All the more reason to have a truly deep one instead. And that all starts by making ourselves into a manger. Christmas is that point in time when the light of heaven contradicts the chaos of earth. Therefore, let us ferociously contradict the earth as never before, by not merely celebrating Christmas, but by becoming it instead. The Nativity of Christ is the story of God wanting to get inside humanity. Jesus was the prototype for that experiment. Let us avail ourselves accordingly and be the embodiment of God every single day of our worldly lives. Let us, from this moment forward and without the slightest hesitation, be Christmas. Ernest Holmes and Eric Butterworth, they say similar things about this. Winter is, in the agricultural land, that time when the earth doesn't do anything, that it's important to just be still. And when we are in that winter phase of our own lives, it is important that we don't create and do a whole lot of stuff, that there's another season for that. But winter is the most important season for all that we shall plant and all that we shall produce. It's a time when we stop all of the efforting, when we stop all of the running around, and we turn within. And we ask ourselves those deeper questions. Who am I? What is important to me? Am I living according to my values? Is my life, as I'm expressing it, really revealing the true me? And is there anything I want to change? If we don't stop in all our planting and harvesting and growing to ask ourselves the question, then what we experience is the same old thing over and over and over again. And just like the earth, if you just keep reusing it without that period of rest, it eventually dries up and the inspiration is lost. And so if you do feel every once in a while that you've lost all your inspiration, you've lost your motivation, you've lost your reason for living, you've lost touch with yourself, you're totally confused, you don't know where to go. What we want to realize is that's just clues that we need to turn to the light within. The light within. Light represents consciousness. And when we do not understand a thing, we say that we must bring it to the light. If we are confused, we say that our process needs more light. When a sudden idea reorders our thoughts, we say that a light came on. And when a person is fully conscious, we say that they are enlightened. And so what we all crave for is that inspiration of clarity. I was, and during the winter time, it's a perfect time to turn within. And it might be scary. Sometimes when we turn within, there may be a whole lot of pain that needs to be dug up and gone through. But we trust, we believe that there is a light within, or let me put it, also a truth within, or there is present within us an unconditional love that is guiding us through the process, and that if we stay with it, we will see the light. We will see things completely differently. We will be set free. I was doing some spiritual work this week, deep work, and I had a memory of something I was involved with years and years and years ago. And when I had that memory, what came up in me was this overwhelming feeling of shame. And how could I have done that? And I know my memory of the event is faulty. So I was actually remembering it worse than what actually transpired. I'm aware that that's probably going on there. But the way I'm remembering it is the way to remember it to bring up the maximum amount of pain in me. And I decided, well, let's go there. Let's go into all that pain. And all I could think of was, I need forgiveness. And I remember trying to remember the Lord's Prayer, because I know there's a forgiveness phrase in there. And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And I was trying to remember Mary's prayer too, because I know she did some forgiving in that. And it took a lot of memory and reciting of this over and over, because it used to just come out of my mouth blah, 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 with no thought whatsoever. But to try to bring it up with conscious thought and awareness to every word, and to get the words right, all of a sudden in those two prayers, those sentences about forgiveness, I understood them at such a deeper level than ever before. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. And with every particle of my being, I was like, please pray for us sinners. I had a sense of oneness. I had a sense that it wasn't about my mistake, my error, my innocence, my ignorance, whatever it was that I did. But I was really having a sense it was about all of us. All of the horrific, horrendous, horrible, shameful things we have done to each other. And even though in recent years I've liked to say the Lord's Prayer and the Mary's Prayer, making it personal, saying, my Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in me. It was all, I personalized it, and I really like that. But for this depth of work that I was doing, it became important that it wasn't just me, it was all. I wanted all of us to be forgiven. All of us. And the pain that I had unlocked has lessened. And what I saw in that moment of forgiveness was the light that was always there. And I wonder, how come for so many years I didn't remember that event? And I'm thinking, well, all I have to do is just forget it again and I'm fine. Right? Because I mean, it's not like something I'm haunting
11
me.
a.m.
It's 11 a.m. It's not something that's haunting me, but for the life that is going to unfold for me in 2022 and beyond, this aspect of me had to get dug up and cleaned up and purified and forgiven. And so, yes, I have more work to do on that, but that's just work, spiritual work, because the gift, the gold, the light has already been uncovered. And I reached it by going into the pain. So that's what we recognize when we talk about the light or the Christ within, the divinity within, the treatment that I gave and the work that other people have shared this morning about, we're recognizing a higher self within us that unconditionally loves us and that is untouched by what we have done. It is forever at peace, forever joy, forever love. It knows all, and it knows a way to guide us through the stickiness and the ickiness of our human existence. And it is infinite. The potential within us to know life and to know love and to enjoy ourselves and to have a more and more marvelous time, that potential is infinite. But if we never have winter, if we never dig down and see some aspects of ourselves that need to be cleaned up, we limit how much we can enjoy of our lives. And given the world today, it has been on my psyche. So disturbing for so many years. Maybe since 9/11. And what I have thought was the world has gone crazy. And we're behaving badly in general. And for me to move forward, that's got to get resolved. And the only resolution of that observation and belief and sadness at how badly the world is behaving is forgiveness. But not human forgiveness, divine forgiveness, grace, something that is mysterious and magical, and something that when it occurs to you, you know you are not alone and that you're not the one that's doing it. In other words, we know that there is a God. And with that as a firmer foundation that we bring up in us, right? We're ready for the next planting in spring. We're ready for the sun, to get bolder and brighter. We're ready to go out and do things because we're more sure of ourselves. We have a firmer foundation that we stand upon. We're not just running our number on yet another year or another phase of our cycle. We're different than we had been before. And we want to be different. I have a little story that I love. It was a cold December day when a shopper during the same busy Christmas season we are all experiencing right now paused on her rounds and was touched by the sight of an unshaven, homeless old man sitting on a park bench. His jacket was threadbare, and he had a paper bag around his neck to keep out the cold. She just stood there and sorrowed for the man. About that time, a young girl was passing by, and she stopped and removed a woolen scarf from her neck and wrapped it around the man's neck and slipped away. This pure, childlike expression of the indwelling Christ's power not only comforted the old man, it transformed the woman who witnessed the gesture. She made a commitment to not live her life as an idle spectator, but to wrap others in compassion and understanding. And so this life that you've been living, good, very good, not so good, could be better. We know that our future expression does not depend on the world working out its problems. It depends upon we ourselves making a new commitment to that life, to bring something different to our experience, to be someone different. And that always, it's not this season that makes it so. It's, even though we've got, I read somewhere, I couldn't find it, somebody said that during this period, like the light is nearer, like there's not so much negative energy or something, whatever. It's easier to go within, maybe, but it's always present within us. We can always have those moments where we go, okay, I'm changing, that's it. And, but we'll take advantage of this moment. Why not? The solstice is coming in a couple days. We have Christmas coming. We have lights all over the place. I have decorated my house in lights successfully. Yes, I had to throw out light strand after light strand that did, for some reason, wouldn't work once I put it up. It would work before you put it up. Do you know that? Have you had that experience where it works fine, you test everything. As soon as I put it on the tree, the lights went out. I mean, I watched it. I plugged it in, kept it in. The lights were all on. I lifted it under the tree, and they all went out. All right. I don't know what its problem is. It's garbage. Let it go. Let it go. And then bring the lights that work. And so we're not always the same people, and it's not always the same path within. That's the tricky part. It's so easy to live on the surface of our being. Right? Because we've got so much to do, we've got lists to do, we've got all these things to do. And to go within, the same spiritual practice day after day doesn't work for me. Like I'll do exactly the same meditation that I had that realization about, a few days ago, and not so much. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, I want to get connected again and have that all that pain again and cry all again and, feel forgiveness again. I want to do that again. That was fun. And no. Need more light. There's something else. There's a new path. But wherever we are, there is a way. And that divinity within us is holding the light for us. And it is inviting us to turn to it in a unique way, from whatever new perspective we're in, to turn to it, and it is there for us to discover, for us to see, for us to follow. It is there. We need to trust. First of all, you need to know it's there. You need to know that love is loving you when you go into the deep gunk. And you need to know that there is a way, there is a path, and you're not going to be stuck there forever. You need to know that. If you don't know it, I'm telling you, it's there. Trust it. And then you need to follow that teeniest glimmer, that single photon of light that comes to you. And it will lead you the whole rest of the way so that you experience union with your divine self. And that's oneness with the Christ within. That's being Christmas, as Evan Hodkins said. We're going to move into our little ritual here, candlelighting ceremony. This year, I have a whole thing, right, with all the candles and all the different colors, and we've done it, and I'm like, I don't want to do it. I'm bored with that. So I wasn't even sure we were going to even do a candle lighting thing because I didn't want to do the same old thing. And it's so far away from Christmas and it's not really the solstice. And maybe I'll just talk about, diets or something. And then I unearthed some things. Some things came into my email and I unearthed some new ideas that really touched me. And so what we want to do is to realize what we mean when we light our candles. We've got our little God candle here. Let me see if you can see it virtually. I don't know if you can see it or not, but because I've got all kinds of stuff going on. Hey, Pat, are you watching out there? Okay, all right, that's really cool. Okay, so one thing I didn't know, when I watch on the cell phone, I can actually see who's watching even though they never say anything. I was wondering, I was trying to ghost watch somebody's Facebook Live thing, and I'm wondering why she's going, "Hi, Karen!" And I'm like, how'd she see me? How'd she see me? Now I know how she saw me. It tells you. Okay, anyway, we have this divine candle pre-lit, the God candle. It's our divine self. It's the divine, the divinity, but it's also our divine self. And as we light it with our little candles, what we are saying is to ourselves that I am aware of the light within me. It's just a symbol, and maybe we're not connected right now. Maybe we're not sensing it right now, but it is present within us. And so we light the candle in trust that by lighting it, we'll become aware of it. And then we'll be along our own special path of growing in divine awareness in every wonderful way. So let's begin that process now. And so does everyone in our studio audience have a candle? Raise your hand if you need a candle. Right? Anybody need a candle? It's because they exist somewhere. Okay, everybody's got them, right? Who's in charge of the candle? Do we want the lights out? As someone said, we want the lights out. Okay, so someone who knows how to shut out the lights, could you go back there and shut off the fuses? The top 6 fuses, you just push them in and you'll see our lights will go out around us. And if you are watching this virtually, then I invite you to, if you don't have a candle to light, then just in your heart, imagine yourself lighting your candle as others do that. Okay? One more. Top 6. Top 3 on what left, 3 on the right. That one went back on. Okay, you turned one on that you just touched. Nope. Nope. Another one. Nope. Another one. The third one.
There's 2 singles. You have to hit both.
There we go. Okay, good. We're ready. All right. So here we go. In a moment, you will be invited to come forward and light your own candle, illuminating your own awareness. And in this ritual, we become a part of what is taking place this night for our planet, physically and spiritually, in hearts and minds the world over. We celebrate the birth of the Christ presence, the awakening spirit in us all. And so we know that there is a place for each one of us to shine this coming year. It may be a project that will change the lives of others, or it may be the healing that comes with one act of forgiveness or compassion. And so I invite you to close your eyes and imagine the night sky full of stars. Allow your breathing to become soft. Feel the peace that comes from connecting with that spacious sky, that vastness. Reflect on the knowledge that the kingdom of heaven is within you and that therefore the source of all life is within you also. Ask that source to reveal itself to you. Ask to feel it, to experience it. Feel the stillness of that presence within your heart and say to yourself from the depths of being, let there be light. Let there be light upon that which yearns to be whole. In whatever area of your life where you wish healing, forgiveness, guidance, or empowerment, let there be light. Now imagine a star dwells in your heart. It is a white star. It looks like the star that we see in the depictions of the birth of Christ, a circle of shining white light with beams radiating out in all directions. That star dwells in your heart, and it shines in the depths of your being. That star represents the source, the creator, coming into manifestation, being born into the world through you right now. This is the light of divine life. It is that love, wisdom, creative power, and oneness which yearns to move, live, and act in the world. This consciousness chooses to enter into life, to move and breathe, to experience joy and pure love. It chooses to serve and heal, to communicate and be with others. It chooses to live in this world through every person and through you. Christ was not only born 2,000 years ago. You carry the seed of that divine spark within yourself now. It is waiting to be born again. You have the choice, from moment to moment, day to day, to birth that consciousness in your heart, in your soul, and in your life. And so, when you are ready to accept that light, I invite you to come forward and light your candle.
Can everybody stand around and stay up here?
No. And you can stay up here if you like, or go wherever in the room you like. And now repeat after me. The light of Spirit is my strength. The light of Spirit is my strength. My all shining brightly. My all shining brightly. Radiating the light of the universe. Radiating the light of the universe. I touch others with compassion and love. I touch others with compassion and love. Living my life as a divine human vessel. Living my life as a divine human vessel. I let my divinity shine forth. I let my divinity shine forth. I am the light of God. I am the light of God. A beacon of power showing the way through heaven and earth. A beacon of power showing the way through heaven and earth.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared, and the soul felt its worth. The thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Oh, on your knees, oh, hear the angels' voices. O night divine, O night when Christ was born, O night divine, O night divine, led by the light of faith serenely beaming, with glowing hearts by his cradle we stand. So led by light, a star sweetly gleaming, here came the wise men from Orient land. The King of Kings lay thus in lowly manger, in all our trials, born to be our friend. He knows our needs, to our weakness no stranger. O night divine, truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love, and his gospel is peace. Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angels' voices. O night divine, O night when Christ was born. O night, O holy night, O night, O night divine.
And so knowing that that light is present within ourselves, we can now blow out our candles knowing that the light within us is well lit.
Love, the light of God is in the love.
The light of God is in the love. The light of God is in the love.
Light, the light of God is in the light. The light of God is in the light. The light of God is in the light. Truth, the light of God is in the truth. The light of God is in the truth. The light of God is in the truth. Joy, the light of God is in the joy. The light of God is in the joy. The light of God is in the joy. The light, the light. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine. The sun shining. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine. The sun shining.
Yeah.
Woo! All right, that concludes our service. Someone can turn on the lights, and we are ready to go. What was that? And the announcement to the virtual world? Oh, okay, good. All right, so virtual world, thank you so much for being here. Let me see. Merry Christmas to you, Robert. Thank you so much. I'm seeing your all of your little statements. Arlene, hello. Alan. Raul, good to see you. Okay, Pat. Margit is coming soon. She's bringing turkey. Okay, so that's good. Kathy Kurtz, good to see you. Jean, Eileen, oh my goodness. Hi, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, I think, boy, there's tons of you saying things. I'm sorry I can't catch all the names. Jean, good to see you. Right, Jean, Eileen, Robert. It looks like it's just repeating the same names over and over again, I think. So if I missed somebody out there, I'm sorry, but I'm glad you were here. Oh, Fred, glad you came too. All right, and I'll just check out. Scroll down to the bottom here. Okay, hang on, let me finish. Okay, goodbye, everybody. See you next week. Burning Bowl will release stuff that we don't want to take it on 2022.